Welcome back, everybody, to Catching You. I am your co-host, Rusty Ham. Lacie, I'm on the West Coast. Where are you at, Lace?
I'm in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. My other co-host is now 3 hours difference on the East Coast in Puerto Rico. Hi, Lace. Say hi.
Hi.
You are done with college. You are now a professional.
Sure.
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 Awesome stuff. First week in Puerto Rico. You said you were bored. That's going to be understandable. You're just meeting new people in a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
So describe last week.
Last weekend?
You graduated Wednesday. Yeah, well, you graduated Wednesday.
Yeah. Went to dinner with you guys.
Yeah.
Thursday, moved all our stuff.
Yeah.
Moved up most of my. What do we do Thursday?
Thursday we moved your stuff into the car, most of your stuff.
Most of like the personal stuff into the car. Then Friday morning, I went to my friend's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came back and we moved all the big stuff into the U-Haul.
Yeah, that was fun.
Super.
Yeah, it was fun because and maybe you guys can sense the sarcasm. It was fun in air quotes,
Mm-hmm.
if you can see me. Air quotes, because Lacie lived in an apartment building which had a gate, and I rented a U-Haul, not realizing that the U-Haul was too tall for the garage area that you were in. So I couldn't park the U-Haul in the garage. So we moved all the stuff down to your parking space in the garage.
Which is 3 flights of
And then
stairs down.
I forgot about that. So it's 3 flights of stairs. Yeah, there is an elevator, but the elevator is on the other side of the complex. So we just sucked it up, moved, you know, your desk and just stuff down 3 flights of stairs, put it in the garage. And then what we had to do was take the stuff from the parking space. You had to go around, open the gate, and then we would walk through the gate up a ramp, which is like 45 degrees, into the U-Haul truck. And then you don't live, I mean, it's not a horrible area. It's just,
You just can't really trust anyone, really.
yeah. Like I'm in real estate, and sometimes I call them war zone. A war zone would be like Compton,
Right.
like where it's like the Bloods and the Crips. It's like that's a war zone. This was not a war zone. It is a little sketchy. I do have a lot of homeless in San Jose, right? I bought a padlock, and I'm not sure if that was even. I'm sure somebody can just pry it open somehow.
Probably. But within the 5 minutes, 10 minutes that we're gone,
Yeah, so we locked it up.
yeah, every time.
But every time we went to the U-Haul, we had to get the combo, unlock it, lift it up. So it was a longer process than normal. So then we're done with that. You had to take a Uber because your car was full of stuff, so we couldn't take you because you had tons of stuff.
And throughout throughout the month of May and like the beginning of April, I went through all my stuff like twice. Clothes, stuff I don't use anymore, donated pretty much tons of bags to Goodwill, Salvation Army, and I don't know what happened.
It still had stuff, and then we consolidated. There's some couple things. You had a backpack that had, I want to say, 6 softballs in it, 4 bottles of suntan lotion you didn't need that were empty, or
Yeah.
2 were empty. So we just we took some of that, took some of the stuff out of your big thing and transferred over, and then you made it through security with
With a
a
bag that
less than
weighed less than 50 pounds.
49.99 49.99 pounds.
Honestly, I think it was less
Yeah.
because when I traveled with the team, we had a roller bag and I would put my duffel of clothes in the roller bag plus like anything else that I needed. I put both my softball backpack and my duffel, sometimes with my clothes in it, into the roller bag, and I put that as my checked bag. So I just have to carry on my backpack, and I didn't have to worry about another bag. And I was fine most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
And honestly, I think my suitcase was
What?
less than that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So what time? So what time was your flight?
I,
And then do all the layovers. This is funny.
my flight was at 6:30 p.m. out of San Jose. And then I landed in it's at 7:55. And then I left Vegas to Orlando at 9:15 p.m. I
Right.
landed in Orlando at 5:50 a.m. And then I flew from Orlando to San Juan at 6:15 a.m. and then I landed in San Juan at 10:30 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, you take that time change into consideration. It's just -3 that. So you took off like at 3 in the morning and then landed like 7 in the morning, right? So your time.
My coach just texted me, be there in 5 minutes. He's
Well,
very last minute. He never told me what time he was gonna
oh, is
come.
it? All right. I'll do a solo.
He never told me what time he was gonna come.
That's okay. Be ready in 5 minutes, and then I'll just when you jump off, I'll continue talking.
Okay. Just to be like, Lacie, let's
Love you.
go.
Yeah, love you.
Love you.
So anyway, guys, as you just saw, this is normal for he's very last minute. The coach is. In fact, she got her. So she's supposed to leave Friday, last Friday. She got her flight information. I think last Tuesday. She was freaking out. So I'm gonna continue. This is late because of the holiday. We didn't do anything. She's settling in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So, so I hope you still enjoy it. Yeah. So she arrives at 10 something, 10:30 their time. She catches up with an old teammate. She gets uniform, all that kind of stuff. And then there was I think 2 games that day, and she pitched the second game. She won 9-1, and then she pitched on Sunday, and they lost 3-1. But it's a culture shock for her. That's what's sort of what we were going to talk about. It's definitely a culture shock. Obviously, she's in Puerto Rico. Everyone's speaking Spanish. She has no clue what they're saying. She said there was a couple of times during the game where the coach and the umpire were getting into it. She had no idea what what they were talking about. So I'm sure she'll pick. Once you're immersed in that language for a while, she's gonna be for there for another month. So I'm sure she'll catch up on some certain things. But definitely a culture shock for her. Um, and she's bored, right? She doesn't know anybody. She knows one player she used to play with in 10U and 12U, Tatiana Roman. She played at Iowa, a really good slapper, outfielder, great. She's awesome. But she flew back to Iowa because she wanted to. Um, I think she wanted to lift because she still has access to the Iowa softball facility. I'm not sure what they have there in Puerto Rico, but she's gonna hit, she's gonna lift, and work out and stuff, and then she's gonna fly back for the weekend game. So she doesn't know anybody yet, but they put her up in this Airbnb, and this Airbnb is like super nice, and it's 5 minutes. I guess the Airbnb is like where all the high end tourists go. So she's in a very high end Airbnb. She's 5 minutes from the beach, so she's been to the beach almost every day, just walking to the beach, reading her book, hanging out. So she's getting used to it. She's lonely, which is understandable. So she's going to work through that mental aspect. She's very sociable. She likes to hang around people. So she'll get used to it. She'll be hanging out with the players soon enough. I'm sure she'll hit the nightlife with them, and they'll have a good time. And then as a father, I'm just super proud of her, right? This is unexpected. The coach asked her because like I said, the girl that she played with in 10U and 12U, they asked her to play when she was a freshman in college. And so when the season was over, she was spent, meaning she was burnt. She didn't want to burn out, but she just came off the 18U second tier um, Alliance Championship. Once she won that, and then immediately went to college. Played a full season. She pitched a lot as a freshman. So she was she they offered her, hey, why don't you come play in Puerto Rico in the summer? And she just she just said, I need a break. I need a break. So she took the summer off, came home, worked at a pizza place. We would pitch every once in a while. She had pitching lessons with a pitching coach every once in a while, and then she went back to college for her sophomore year. She liked the idea of having summers off and just working at the pizza place and just kind of chilling. So she did that her sophomore year, and then she had a horrible junior year. We've talked about it multiple times. Not horrible. I mean, it was horrible. It was just she had a 6 ERA. Didn't the coach? Not the head coach. Head coach was awesome. The pitching coach was horrible. Assistant coach. To this day. So let me tell you a story about. I'm gonna bat. I don't care. The season's over. But so we go up there. Her junior year, we go up to San Jose for a parent weekend. And this is the new pitching coach and a new assistant coach. And we're sitting there with all the parents, chit chatting with other parents. Coaches walk in. Coach Tammy comes up, says hi, gives us a hug. The pitching coach, the new pitching coach, brand new, right? And Lacey's a pitcher. They know who we are because Lacey's sitting with us. The new pitching coach does not come up and say hi to us. He went up and said hi to other people, but not us. For whatever reason, I have no clue. Assistant coach. Now, assistant coach is, more of the hitting coach and offensive, but she didn't even come up and say hi. I think she walked by and gave her a little head nod. So the vibe already with just us, me and my wife, was just like, okay, who are these people? Like if you're the pitching coach, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? I'm so excited to, have Lacie as one of, whatever. But it wasn't like that. And then it just turned out our gut feeling was correct. Horrible, horrible experience. Her mental health was not there. The coach invited her again in January of her junior year, and she ghosted the coach. She didn't talk to her ever again. And then senior year came along, got a new pitching coach. She is fantastic, Coach Taylor. I'm gonna try and get her on the podcast because she is a phenomenal person and coach. They got another hitting coach. He's great, funny dude, personable, comes up to talk to you. So the vibe was awesome. She had a great year. She was, just over a 3 ERA. And I don't know if you guys know this, but she she was, it was she was the number 2 pitcher, right? The number 1 pitcher had a ton of innings. She was right behind him in innings pitched. She only gave up 3 home runs all year long. I mean, this is 40 plus games that they play. She pitched in half of them and only gave up 3 home runs, 1 in conference. So she had a great year. She's feeling good. Coach invited her again. She's like, let's do it. She's like, I'm done with school. I don't want to be in school anymore because her plan was to be a grad assistant somewhere and get her master's. She's like, she's kind of the opposite with softball. She's just done with school. She wants a break from school. So she's going to spend the summer in Puerto Rico, which is kind of cool. The girls are super nice to her. The coaches are cool. They're, they're in the parking lot, the team, and the game was over and they're all chilling in the parking lot, cracking over a couple of beers. It's just a different experience for her. I told her to be being comfortable with being uncomfortable. She is Lacie, and we were going to talk about it on. She's a planner. She doesn't she likes to know what's going on, and that's why she was kind of wigging out before she left Puerto Rico, because the coach wasn't really responding, and it's like, okay, here's her flight plans, and it was super late, last minute, and she was asking the coach a month ago, like, hey, what's my flight, my flight plans and all this kind of stuff, where am I staying? She just wanted to know, right? She's that kind of person. She just needs to know, so she can mentally plan for it. And so she's not comfortable not knowing. She's uncomfortable with she can be spontaneous, but she also she's that person. She's that person. She just needs to know what's going on so she can mentally plan for it. So this is going to be good for her. This is going to be good for her actually, because she's going to be uncomfortable. And I told her right before she left that she needs to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And so that's going to happen. She'll be back she's going to play, I think, for a month, come back for 3 weeks, and then go back in July. We're going to go hang out with her in July to go visit her. So that's going to be fun. We're going to experience Puerto Rico. Going to love that. And then she's going to come back until that's the end of July. August, she's off. And then September, she goes to Australia. And there, again, she's going to be uncomfortable. It's a different, it's a different culture. It's 16 hours away, but, she's going to stay with her teammates' parents. She's going to have the teammates' car. So I think she's going to work out there. She's got to get her work visa. So another experience where she's going to be uncomfortable. So this is actually probably the best thing to happen for her, because now she can come back from these two experiences and say, now she can just kind of chill and go with the flow sometimes. Like I always like, she's her mother in a sense, because her mom, my wife, is a planner as well. She likes to plan. She likes things to be in order. We're doing this. And I just say, just tell me where I'm going. And so I'm super chill. People will tell you that I'm just, I have that California vibe. I'm just chill, chill, chill. Just tell me where I'm going. I'll show up. And so I want her to have the best of those worlds. I don't want her to stop being who she is, which is, a planner, somebody who wants things done a certain way. But I also want her to chill sometimes and just go with the flow, relax. And you guys just saw that right in the middle of the podcast. The coach called her, "Hey, be there, be ready in 5 minutes." She thought she was supposed to be there at 6:30 Eastern time, and right now it is 5:30. So she thought, hey, she had like another hour, but I guess not. So the it is what it is. So this is going to be a little bit shorter podcast than normal. It's a little bit late coming out, just because yesterday was a holiday and my wife and I were traveling, so we couldn't get one out. So we'll get this out today, and then we're trying to get some more guests on. I'm trying to get a girl that played for Coastal Carolina, and you might know who she is. Her name is Kirsten Ruse. She has a new podcast out, and the new podcast is Like a Girl. And it's a kind of a play on words, kind of like this is Catching You. So check out her podcast, Like a Girl. It's a play on words from Sandlot. You play baseball like a girl. So that's her new podcast. She had like, I think 5 or 6 episodes, and then they made the World Series. They won their conference championship. So she took some time off as far as her podcast, but now the season's over. She's back at it. I'm going to try and get her on. She has a cool story as far as injuries and mental health and the transfer portal. She's getting some negative feedback for after her Coastal Carolina years. She did all 4 years. She got a BA and a master's in all 4 years. And then she wanted to get a second master's, but her second master's wasn't available at Coastal Carolina. And she had another year of eligibility as far as softball. So she's transferring to Georgia, and she's going to get her second master's at Georgia and play for Georgia her last year. And she was getting some negative feedback, which is weird. And so I wanted to. It's just a cool story, and I wanted to get her perspective on her dad, because we haven't talked to many athletes lately, and getting their perspective on their relationship with their dad and how that, because that's what this whole podcast is about. It's about me and my daughter, then how I treated her when she was younger, and how our relationship has grown steadily because of certain strategies I used. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoy this. Sorry about the interruption in the middle where Lacie had to jet out of there to go to practice, but we have to deal with those things, right? So appreciate you guys' time. Please share this podcast, rate it, give us 5 stars if you would. Write a little review. It helps us grow as far as the show. We are definitely growing. If you guys saw that, our first year we did 1,000 downloads. Now we're up to I think 11 or 12,000 downloads. So our show is definitely growing. So please help us out with a rating and a share and a review. I would love that feedback from you guys. All right. Take care. Catch everybody else on the other side. Lacie, if you listen to this later, I love you. Enjoy practice. I will catch you guys on the other side. Well, I'm going to put in a link because you can watch her games on YouTube. So what I'll do is I'll put that link in the show notes. So if you ever want to watch her play, she typically plays on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So if you ever want to watch her play in Puerto Rico, it's in Spanish. We tried to get the translation, but I don't think it's there yet. But you can watch her. You don't need to listen to the announcers. But anyway, yeah. So I'll put that in the show notes so you guys can click on that. She plays Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. You can follow her team on Facebook as well. I'll put that in there. And yeah, so you guys can continue to watch her play. All right. Take care, everybody. See you on the other side.